this moment when you have set up your camera and want to film a flip through, and then you look through the camera and to your iPad, which is mirroring the screen of your phone, which you use for filming. And then you look to your journal and you think, wait, something is missing, something that completely is hindering me to film the flip through, because there's just something missing. And then, seconds before you film the flip through, you take out an ink pad. In this case, it's ground espresso archival ink. And then you go over your journal like this to do what you, I think I planned to do this in the very beginning, and then I forgot it or something. Or perhaps, I think it's not about forgetting it, but it was that I liked the journal like it was, or let's say the cover like it was. But now when I looked through the camera, I thought I need to do this, and I need to grunge this up a little bit more. I mean, before I did this, there was nearly no grunge on the cover, but I think you got me. And this is a special moment. It's always a special moment to film a flip through, because that means that this journal is very close to going away and finding a new home. Okay, so I think now I have it. I think now it's finally really finished. So this is completely dry now. I have used the archival ink ground espresso to make sure that this is permanent on here, and I think this looks now really, really interesting. When I look at this now, I can even see some bats flying around here. Can you see them as well? I mean, look, well, this perhaps not, but here, I mean, this is a little bit like, too long or so, but here it's like abstract bats somehow. Holy moly, I just see that in this second. How cool is that? Oh my goodness. But of course, I mean, that is coincidence. When I glued down the fabric, I haven't had this in mind, yeah? But oh my goodness, that fits now even better than I could imagine before I added the ink. Yeah, so here we have this closure, and it is completely removable, which is a really unusual thing for me. But that has a reason, and it has also a reason that the cover is pretty plain. I decided for this thing here as a decoration for the cover for several different reasons. The main reason is that there happened a lot in this journal, and it is pretty thick. It is not a gator mouth or something like that. There's still room for your own creativity. So the new owner of this journal can still be creative in this journal and can add more things. But I thought if I put a really thick, like dimensional decoration to the cover here, and then I open the cover, it can't lay, I open the journal, it can't lay so flat on the desk anymore, because of course when here is something, or if here would be something, is that the right grammar? I'm hoping. Then this couldn't be so flat on the desk anymore. And I thought perhaps the new owner wants to decorate the cover later when the journal is completely finished. Yeah, when everything is decorated in here, and perhaps the person has journaled in the journal and collected some memories or whatever the new owner wants to do with this journal, then he or she can still decide to put something really dimensional on here and like finish the cover. And I do this because for me this doesn't look unfinished. It looks, it's a cover, isn't it? It's what am I trying to say here? A junk journal cover can also be something like this. I think there doesn't always have to be like a bam and really bulky decoration or so. And with this, I thought it's already enough. It's like, it looks cute somehow. And perhaps you would not expect the content of the journal with just looking at this. I thought it can also be a little surprise when you see something, yeah, pretty neutral like this, and then you go into the journal and you can then discover the theme of the journal. Here, for this little decoration, I have used some beads I have in my stash for since a very long time. I got these beads in a Happy Mail, and this is again a proof for, yeah, the reason why you sometimes are hoarding things, because I hoarded these for such a long time. They are just so amazing. These beads are like artworks by themselves. It's just so amazing, and now they fit here so perfectly. And I'm so sorry, my fingernails fit to the project as well today. I'm so sorry. I hope you can go through this without any problems with your stomach. I have tried to remove this. This is acrylic paint, and yeah, the rest of an accident I had in my craft room a few seconds before I started this. I'm so sorry. I hope you can live with that. But sometimes I feel like if my fingers wouldn't look like this, then I mean, when my fingers look like this, I feel that I had fun. So let's go on with this. So this top bulb pin here with this yellow bead is at the same time the closure, so you can open this and then just fiddle it through the lace here, and then the journal is closed. The other both are just decoration, and on the others there's also this little ruler stuff. It's just 2 pieces of a fabric ruler, which I cut off, and then I set an eyelet on the pieces, and then I could fiddle that here through the bulb pin. And of course, this lace has the possibility to hold more bulb pins with more things. The new owner could take a ton of bulb pins and fiddle them through the lace and then add more beads or add more little dangles or even more ruler pieces or whatever. You could even put something here to the spine and then hang a dangle or something like that. I have chosen a lace which is pretty sturdy, not too thick but sturdy, so that it's not, not too delicate, so that it can hold a bulb pin with a bead really well and that nothing can be destroyed from that. This can be removed completely. Also a little bit unusual. If you know me, you know that I normally, if I put something like this around a journal as a closure, I would attach that to the journal somehow so that it can't get lost or so. But you have to try different things sometimes as well. So let's open this and let's go into this. So this has stayed exactly like you have already seen it. If you have followed my channel for the last few weeks, then you have already seen this. If not, and if this is perhaps the first video you see on my channel, then you can check out the description box of the video. There's a playlist called Halloween, and there is a ton of content available about Halloween journals and, Halloween craft projects, paper craft projects, junk journal related, of course. And there, in the Halloween playlist, there are also all of the videos about this journal. This is really old, but I thought that fits here so well. And it makes this kind of bridge between the orange and the yellow here, because, here, can you see that? Sometimes I love my stash. And sometimes you can also just find something in your stash which fits without the need of creating that from scratch. If you are interested in the papers I have used here from my shop, then you can find them linked in the description box as well. I have used my Halloween in August paper collection, where you can find full pages and an ephemera pack, and the whole thing is also available as a kit where you get the pages and the ephemera in one item. Everything is down below in the description box, and I have mixed the Halloween in August printable with some other printables from my shop. There are parts of my dried gatherings printable, also linked down below in the description box for you, because I thought that fits really, really well to this theme. I also have some of my vintage photo strips Halloween edition in this journal. This looks nearly like it was real in the camera and also with my eyes. I can see that this is just, it's just like real fire. So cool. And yeah, of course, you can also find a lot of original vintage pieces in here, like this old letter here, for example. This is not a print, it's an original piece. And I have also added some pieces from the past, like this, for example, or the yellow tag we've just seen. Some elements from Happy Mails and so on. So this is also an original piece, I'm so sorry, from a Happy Mail. Really cool. The next page is the most important page of this journal, because it's the blank page. I think it's ages ago when I decided that I want to have a blank page in each of my journals. I think I even made a video where I said that and where I decided that, I think in the video. I'm not so totally sure anymore if that is completely true or if that is only in my head, but I know that I decided that. But then I think after the decision of having one blank page in each journal, I couldn't manage to do it anymore. I don't know why, but I ended up with journals where every page had something on it. And when I had this, I thought, okay, this is now the chance to have a blank page in the journal. Many of these pieces, like these little decorative pieces or also these ephemera pieces, this is, by the way, a pocket, you can find as video content on my channel as well. It's also in the playlist, which is called Halloween. Perhaps you think, okay, I have seen some videos and I know something here and that looks a little bit weird or different. Then let me quickly explain why you could think that. Perhaps you know that I always make a German video and an English video. And if you see something where you think, oh, that looks like a technique she has shown in her video, but the picture is different or the arrangement is a little bit different, then it's probably because I made that then in my German video. So if you want to check out the German videos as well, you can of course do that and then see their different variations of the things we made in the English videos. If you want to have more variations of the same ideas, perhaps you want to have that. I left many of the ephemera pieces blank on the back. That is also something I had to learn, because when I have a journal like this and it's the day where I film the flip throughs, so this day and this moment, it is always a special thing, because this is the moment where I say goodbye to my journal. Until today, this journal was my journal, and I did in this journal what I wanted to do in it, and I followed my ideas. I was creative in this journal, and of course I had the feeling that this is my journal. But now, today, everything changes a little bit, because this journal will go into my shop and then I will not be the owner anymore. And that is always something special. And sometimes I have the feeling that I have to learn what to do with my things so that the new owner has the biggest possible fun with the journal. And because of that and that wish, I left a lot of the pieces white or blank on the back, so that the new owner can have some creative play here as well. Here are also some loose ephemera pieces, like this bingo card printed on an overhead transparency, where you can take this and just do your own thing with it. Yeah, it's just a print. It's just a little piece where you can think, okay, I want to make something out of this, or I want to take it and just glue it down somewhere or whatever. And I wanted the new owner to have the possibility to do something like that next to finished pieces like this here, for example. I mean, there's nothing against adding something here as well, yeah? Please don't get me wrong. Of course, the new owner is allowed to do everything with this journal what he or she wants, yeah? Don't get me wrong. So you can, of course, say, oh, I need black splatters here, or I want to remove the boy here and glue something else. Of course, please do that, yeah? If you buy this journal and this is in the future your journal, please do what you want. Don't get me wrong. But I would consider this a finished piece. I finished it, and this is something that is like from my printer, and yeah, a little piece of something that can have the function of an inspirational piece for something new. Here, for example, as well, I've just cut some pieces out so that you have like a neutral base where you can add your own things. Perhaps the new owner wants to collect something in here, or whatever you could do in here. Perhaps gluing some photos or that stuff, then you perhaps need some space for doing that. Here's just some dirt on the back. I mean, not real dirt, it's made with ink, but you know that it's not completely white. And it's so special. I mean, when I go through this and I see this, then I can look back to all of the things we have done together in the past few weeks, and it's so crazy. It's just so crazy, because I mean, what am I doing here? I'm sitting here and I'm talking to myself and to my camera, and I'm so thrilled by the strength of the community. I'm really, in a positive way, overwhelmed about the possibilities we have with YouTube and other social media platforms, because I created this paper collection and I was sitting alone in my room in front of my computer doing this. And that's of course not only for this paper collection, but for everything else that is in my shop. And when I did this, it is also, this is also something special with the Halloween in August collection, because I did this a relatively long time ago, and it took me a while until I got what I have here. And everything started with a really, what is the English word? For my German video, I used a word that my grandma used to say. It's like, in German, it's eine spinnerte Idee. That is some kind of a German slang also. And it's like, somehow a weird idea. And something where you could think, what is the person thinking when she or he or she, what did the person think when he or she made this? That is somehow a little bit weird. And that is, what happened with the Halloween in August paper collection, because in the beginning I felt really weird when I made this, because when I watched YouTube videos about Halloween in August, then I found videos about Halloween projects made in August. Yeah, it's also like, how is this other thing called? Creepy July. I think that is a term we know from YouTube. But I was always like, but what are they doing? I mean, I like what they do. Yeah, I like Halloween projects in general. And no matter in which months they are created, I love them. And there's nothing bad about that. Yeah, don't get me wrong. But it was like, we are crafting Halloween things in August. Yeah, but where's the summer aspect of this whole thing? And that is how this came to life and why I made it like it is, combining summer and Halloween in this one paper collection. And it is like a spinnerte Idee, a spinnerte idea, like my grandma would say, because when I do this and when I sit in my room and do that, then I don't know what you will think about that. Yeah, I do that alone and I'm sitting here, and also in this moment I'm talking to myself, and that is so crazy, because I know that you will leave nice comments when I upload this video, because I know already that you are just so awesome and you are so wonderful people, and I'm so thankful every single time I make a printable and I make a paper collection, a journal, a tutorial, or a process video or whatever. When I read your comments, that makes me so happy, because I always have the feeling that I'm not alone here and that we are doing this together. And especially with this thing, if you are new here, let me quickly explain how I introduced you to this paper collection or how I introduced the paper collection to you. I don't know. I made a paper premiere on YouTube. So that is a video. I mean, the word paper premiere is the term I mean, holy moly. The word paper premiere is a word that I found for the format of that video, yeah, so it's my word. But a premiere on YouTube is a video which you pre-record, and then you can upload that to YouTube, and you set a date, and on that specific date at a specific time you can meet with your community, and there's a chat next to the video, and you can chat with the people who are watching the video in that moment when the video plays. And that is something totally different than such a video like I'm doing here now, because now I know I record this video. Oh, I'm sorry. I will upload the video, you will see it, and you will leave a comment, and then later on I can read the comments. And of course that is great. It's totally great, yeah. I don't want to say that there's something that is more worth or so, yeah. It's the same worth, but it's something different if I know that you sit in front of your computer and watch the video at the same time when I am there. And it is something so special when we are in that chat at the same time. And I so enjoyed that time together with you. I mean, I have to really to concentrate that I don't get emotional. I want to cry, because that makes me just so happy. I don't know if you can understand how much how often do you want to say how much in this sentence? I don't know the next word. How much goes into such a paper collection? I'm a self-taught digital designer. I have no education from school or so, yeah. I haven't visited classes or so to get skills for digital design. Everything I know from trial and error sessions, from watching YouTube tutorials. I even haven't taken online classes or something like that, yeah. I have figured that out all by myself. I don't want to sound weird, yeah, but and that is not your problem, yeah. I mean, I want you to have nice paper, and that is of course absolutely not your problem that I had to learn everything by myself. But what I'm trying to say is, if you went that way and you learned everything by yourself, then it's even more special, and for me it's even more worth when I get a reaction like your reaction is. I don't want to say something bad about those people who went to the university to get their skills with digital design. That is of course a totally different level than what I'm doing here, but I'm so proud of myself that I can make something like this by myself, that I can work with my own papers. And it makes me so happy that you like this stuff as well, because only because I am happy about this. And I mean, I can be proud about myself as long as I want. If you don't like it, then yeah, this whole thing couldn't exist, because yeah, I make a living from this, from YouTube and my Etsy shop. And if you would think this is totally silly or boring or whatever, then this whole thing couldn't work. Yeah, so I'm pretty proud about us. I think I want to say it like that. I'm pretty proud about us. And by the way, someone asked what I did with this tag, which was accidentally glued down here. I left it exactly like it is, so that you now can take something and put that into this now hidden pocket here. I was afraid to destroy this wonderful leaf. This is also one of those I got in a Happy Mail a very long time ago, and I was afraid that I could tear this accidentally, so I left it. I mean, why not? It's just, you know, whoever buys the journal, don't try to take this out. It's glued down. This is art. Yeah, so what I want to say is I'm really proud about us, because we are turning this community into what we have turned this community into what it is. And we are the people who are keeping this whole thing alive. And we are intensifying what we already have. I hope that makes sense. I really scratched the last vocabulary out from my brain. You know, sometimes it's hard for me to say in English what I want to say. And especially with those things that go from my heart to your heart, it's sometimes a little bit hard for me to explain that. But this is just so special. It's just, I can't tell you how much I love each and every one of you, and how appreciative I am when you leave a nice comment, you send an email, or also via my shop, you leave so many nice messages. And that's also a thing. I don't know if you can imagine that. If you release a paper collection like this, and if you make like this paper premiere and a lot of videos about that, of course, a lot of people see this, and that is the purpose of doing that. Of course, yeah, I want to show you the things, of course, and I'm happy when many people see that. But in that moment, there are a lot of people in my shop, of course, and I don't know if you can imagine the situation. Now, let's make an example. Now I'm sitting here and I'm filming my video. I already filmed my German video, so I'm sitting here about, I would say, 1.5 hours. And I also sat here for approximately 5 hours in the morning for making other videos. So that means there is approximately 5, 6, 7 hours where I haven't taken a look at my messages in my Etsy shop. And that is a problem, because I want to answer the messages there as soon as possible. That has the highest priority ever, because when you have problems with your download, for example, or you want to ask something, of course, I want you to get the answer to your question as soon as possible and problems solved as soon as possible. And then when I, for example, when I finish this in a second and I go back to my phone or to my computer, wherever I read my Etsy messages, and I see there are 5, 6, 7, 10 messages from you, in the first moment, I get something like a panic attack, because I think, oh my goodness, what problems could that be? And in the first moment, it looks like I have to solve a lot of problems, or you had to wait. And that is, of course, not so nice for me. But when I then open the messages, and especially with this paper collection, it was so wonderful, because the most of the messages I got haven't been about problems. It was not the priority that you said, I have problems downloading my files, or Etsy makes problems, or whatever. I mean, you know, there are sometimes problems with the platform, yeah, so that I can't do anything about that, and you can't do anything about that, but we have to solve that problem. That is normal. I mean, it's a platform. It has to do with technology, and of course, then there can be things that go wrong. But no, I lost my track. Holy moly. But the most of those messages have been compliments for the paper collection. And I got so many messages that haven't had this topic of I have a problem, but where you said, I just wanted to leave a message so that you know that your paper collection is awesome and that I downloaded it and that I already made a journal or ephemera or whatever, and you just wanted to let me know how awesome you find the paper collection. And I was like, oh my goodness, there aren't even any problems with downloading or so. That is just so awesome. It makes me just so happy because yeah, it's absolutely wonderful. By the way, here I decided to put this paper in here, not like it was, not like this. I mean, that's nice. I stamped the bats over here, but I decided to put it in here like so. Look, you could even put a little label here, perhaps additionally, and then it looks really nice. Oh, by the way, I know that many of you are interested in that because I know that from the past. This is journal 112 I made. And I thought, why isn't it 113? Because that would fit better to Halloween, or 131st. But then I realized 1 plus 12 is 13 as well. And 13, the other way around, is 31st. So this says 13, yeah, or 31st. You just have to do the right math and then everything is correct. Yeah. It's really crazy. It's really, really crazy. And yeah, I would love to travel through the world, visit each and every one of you and give each and every one of you a hug. I would love to do that. Of course, that is not possible, but I want you to know that you are the most special community this world could have. And I appreciate all of you so much. And even if I don't say that in each and every of my videos, I mean, then you would hear me crying all the time, probably. Tears of joy, but you would hear me crying very often. But perhaps you can have this in mind when you watch my other videos, that you know that I would love to say each and every time I upload a video and I talk to you how much I love you. And I don't say that just for saying it, but I say that because I mean it exactly like it is, from the bottom of my heart. And I want that you know that and that you somehow feel that. I know that I'm very far away and that we don't know in person and that we will probably never meet in person in this life. But I feel that I have so many friends all around the world that is just awesome. And I want you to remember that. And also when you watch other people on YouTube and when you watch other videos of other creators, please have in mind how much this community can be and how much we can give each other by inspiring each other on the one hand. Let's quickly appreciate this moon here. And how much love we are able to spread around. And I think that is something really special. When we look to the world, to the situation in the world, I don't want to go in detail about that, but I think you know what I mean. Then I think we can be really, really proud about such a community we have, and we can, or we should remember that we have built this community and that we have put together this whole thing and what we are, and that we all are part of this, and each and everyone out there is a little piece of a really big thing. And I think we should have that in mind every time we, that sounds a little bit weird, but I in this moment I really feel that like it is. I mean, we should have that in mind every time we sit down and create, because sometimes I have the feeling, often it's about techniques, it's about ideas. There are people who say, ooh, this person has stolen my idea, or he or she hasn't mentioned where he or she got this inspiration from. And there are so many things, like also like technical problems or something like that. But why are we here? We are here because we want to create something cool together. We want to inspire each other, and we want to celebrate this community. And I think we should think about those things more often than about who has developed a technique or who has found an idea or whatever. I mean, getting inspired is really, what is this? is really important. And yeah, mentioning, you know, the source of inspiration, it is very important. I try to do that, of course, as well, as good as I can. And learning new things is also important. And if you know my channel already, then you know that I am a really big friend of teaching techniques, and that I want to know everything really in detail. And that I also want to know the things behind the things. But I think the main point is sit down, enjoy this community, receive the love that the community can give, and spread the love back to the other people. I hope we will see the next time. I have some really exciting things in the makes. It has a reason that my fingers look like this. And yes, this color is a little hint. Don't ask. I hope that you will enjoy my future projects as well, and I hope that you have a very, very great and creative day. See you the next time. Bye bye.